provided by Thomas Allgaier and Frenes, based on the most relevant posts on LinkedIn about account-based marketing in CW 6 and 7. Frenes is a B2B market research company working with enterprises to optimize their campaigns with account and executive insights far beyond AI.
And today, we are really tearing down the engine of a topic that everyone thinks they understand, but the data, it suggests very few are actually getting it right.
We're going deep on account-based marketing. ABM.
Exactly.
It's funny because ABM feels like it's been around forever. At least in B2B years, you'd think by now we'd have it all figured out.
You would think.
But looking at the insights from weeks 6 and 7, the vibe isn't business as usual. It feels more like a reinvention.
It really is. I mean, if you look at the sources we pulled, the big headline isn't that ABM is dead or alive. It's that it's finally grown up.
Grown up how?
It's shifting from being just a campaign tactic, something you turn on for a quarter, to get some leads into the actual core go-to-market operating model.
Which is a huge shift. We're not just talking about marketing anymore.
No, we're talking about how the entire business functions.
Okay, so to keep us on track, we've organized this deep dive into let's say, a logical flow. We'll start with a strategy, this mindset shift of scaling down.
Then we'll look at the fuel cell, the data, and the signals.
And after that, the engine. How AI is changing the structural execution of all this.
And we'll finish with the real-world tactics, the actual plays people are running, and crucially, how to measure it so you don't get fired in month 3.
Sounds like a plan. Let's start with strategy. The phrase that just jumped out at me from the research was scale down to scale up.
It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, in sales, you're always conditioned to want more. More leads, more volume, more noise.
Exactly. And that conditioning is what kills so many ABM programs. There was a fantastic, slightly terrifying story shared by Declan Mulkeen.
Oh, this was the one featuring Marta George from Ping Identity.
That's the one. It just perfectly illustrates this friction.
So she was the first ABM hire there, right? High stakes.
Very high stakes. And she walks in to find a target list of 87 accounts. Now, to someone new to this, 87 doesn't sound like a crazy number.
Right, not at all.
But it is if you're trying to do real ABM, not just, putting their logo on a landing page. We're talking deep research, custom content, building relationships across a dozen stakeholders.
Impossible for 87 companies with a small team. It's just noise.
It's just noise. So she did the brave thing.
She took a machete to the list.
She did. She cut it from 87 down to 36.
Wow. That's less than half.
Less than half. You can just imagine the panic in the sales room. You're cutting our potential targets by over 50%.
So why did it work?
Because by reducing the volume, she changed the timeline. She stopped treating these accounts as quick wins and started viewing them as a 24 to 36-month journey.
That's a long game. That requires some serious patience.
It does, but that's what enterprise selling actually is. She shifted from coverage, just hitting people with ads so you can check a box, to genuine relationship building.
And there was a quote from that discussion that I loved.
Oh, I know the one. If your ABM strategy can be done by AI, it shouldn't have been done in the first place.
Such a powerful distinction, because if a bot can do it, it's just spam, isn't it? It's not really ABM.
Precisely. And this leads right into the second part of the strategy conversation, which Amprakash Karupanin brought up.
Right, the conflict.
Yes. He argues that ABM usually fails because teams are too polite. They just avoid conflict. They want alignment. So they say yes to everything.
Sure, we can add that account. Sure, we can target that vertical. And you end up with a mess.
An unfocused mess.
Yeah.
Real ABM forces you to look sales in the eye and say, no, that account isn't worth our resources right now. Or, even harder, your champion at this company isn't actually moving the deal.
That is deeply uncomfortable. So how do you do that without it just becoming a fight based on gut feelings?
You need a framework. This is what Bev Burgess from Inflection Group highlighted. Marketing's role here is to bring the data to the gunfight.
She suggests a prioritization matrix, right?
Exactly. It's simple, but it's ruthless. You plot accounts on 2 axes. Axis 1, attractiveness to the business. So how much is this deal worth?
And axis 2.
Relative strength against competitors. Can we actually win this?
I see. So an account might be huge, super attractive.
Yeah.
But if your competitor is totally entrenched there, your strength is low.
And if it falls in that quadrant, you don't prioritize it. It just removes the VP of sales went to college with their CEO factor.
It turns a political argument into a math problem.
It's not personal. It's just the matrix.
I love that. Okay, so we have the mindset, focus, discipline, healthy conflict. Now let's talk about the fuel, data.
because everyone claims to be data-driven, but according to a post from HaceLibS, we are driving with a very dirty windshield.
Dirty windshield is putting it mildly. He pointed out a staggering statistic. 87% of teams are dealing with unreliable signals.
87%. That's basically everyone.
So what's the root cause?
It's how we define intent. The industry got addicted to third-party intent data. You know the kind. Someone at General Electric read a blog post about cloud storage.
And we treat that like they're ready to sign a check.
But that's usually just curiosity, not real buying intent. And that's why SDRs burn out. They're chasing ghosts.
So the shift is toward what?
First-party signals, your own data, and real-world triggers. Facts, not guesses.
Things that are actually happening.
Exactly. Funding rounds, hiring sprees, leadership changes. Joaquin Garicino broke this down into a really useful hierarchy of intent.
Okay, yeah, I have it here. Let's run through it because this is a great way to prioritize your day. At the top, Tier 1, the drop everything signals.
Tier 1 are the game changers. We're talking Series A or B funding. They just got cash. Expansion into a new market. A major leadership change. These are moments where budget gets unlocked.
Makes sense. Then Tier 2.
Still strong, but maybe not a same-day panic. This is like a hiring surge. He specifically says opening 5+ roles in one department, or maybe they adopt a competitor's tech.
Okay, so they're active in the market. And Tier 3.
Awards, product launches, good for context,
Yeah.
but doesn't necessarily mean they need you right now.
And Tier 4, the bottom of the barrel.
Generic social media activity. The key advice is this. Don't have your expensive sales reps chasing Tier 4 signals. Put them in an automated nurture. Save the humans for Tier 1.
Right. But there's a nuance here with social, isn't there? Because Tim S. Dodd points out there's this invisible map on LinkedIn we're all ignoring.
Yes, this is fascinating. He argues that a like is cheap, but a comment, that's a high-value public signal. It's a hand raise.
And he goes deeper, talking about profile views.
He does. And look, it shouldn't be creepy. If someone in your ICP views your profile right after you post something, it means your positioning hit home.
And if they engage repeatedly.
That's the key. If they view you, then a colleague views you. Then they comment, all within like a 7-day window.
Yeah.
He says that is a buying cycle forming right in front of your eyes.
But he has a golden rule because the temptation is just to pounce immediately.
The golden rule. Diagnose on signal, don't pitch.
Yeah.
This is where everyone messes up. You see the CEO view your profile, and you immediately DM them your calendar link.
Guilty.
It just kills the deal. You look desperate. The signal is permission to start a conversation, not to close one. The soft touch.
Okay, let's pivot to the engine. We've got the strategy, we have the data. Let's talk AI. But I'm relieved the sources this week aren't just ChatGPT wrote my email.
No, we are moving way beyond copywriting. The story from Vanessa Ponce is a perfect example of this shift. I mean, it's honestly a glimpse into the future of the SDR role.
This one blew my mind. The headline was, Claude just replaced my $6,000 a month SDR. That sounds like clickbait.
It does, but she actually broke down the workflow. She wasn't using Claude to just write, hey, how are you, emails. She built an agent.
An agent.
Yeah, this AI agent scraped LinkedIn profiles for fit. Then, and this is the important part, it analyzed their recent posts for context. It detected over 10 different buying triggers, and then it managed the follow-ups based on the sentiment of the replies.
Wait, so if the prospect was annoyed, it would back off?
It would back off. If they were curious, it doubled down.
And the results were 41 qualified meetings in a single week.
41 in 1 week. Without her manually touching Sales Navigator, that is a structural enabler. The AI is doing the research and the reasoning, not just the writing.
That word reasoning is so important. Faraz Ahmed calls this AI native ABM.
Right. Faraz describes a tech stack with 3 layers. You have your external data from a tool like Clay, pulling in those funding triggers. You have your internal data from Salesforce, knowing what's worked before. And you put the AI, like Claude, in the middle.
So the AI acts as the bridge.
It acts as the brain.
Yeah.
It connects the dots. It sees an external trigger and checks your internal history to figure out the best message based on what's actually worked.
Speaking of connecting tools, Amber Chemis had a great take on the whole HubSpot versus Apollo debate.
They do, and she says it's the wrong way to look at it. She calls HubSpot the brain, your system of record, your source of truth. And Apollo is the reach. It's all about speed and velocity.
And the problems happen when you try to make your brain do the job of your arms.
Exactly. Let them stay in their lanes, but integrate them intentionally.
Okay, let's get tactical. We've built the strategy, we have the data, the AI is running. What are the actual plays people are running?
Let's start with a technical fix that solves a huge headache. Ad match rates.
Oh, this is the bane of B2B advertising. You upload a perfect CSV to LinkedIn, and it comes back saying, great, I found 300 of them.
So frustrating. But Varun Anand and Philo Zaresti highlighted a solution that's getting around this.
They're using hashed advertising IDs. What does that mean for the rest of us?
Think of it like a digital fingerprint. Instead of just matching an email address, it pushes this secure, encrypted identifier that matches the user's identity across platforms.
And the impact is what?
Match rates jumping from, say, 30-45% up to 90% or more.
That's massive. That means you can actually target the entire buying committee at a tier 1 account.
Correct. And speaking of the buying committee, McLeod Moyo dropped some advice that's going to upset some people. He says, stop targeting the C-suite.
Wait, what? Isn't the whole point of ABM to get to the decision maker, the CFO?
In theory. But think about a CFO's life. They get bombarded. They ignore dozens of ads a week. More importantly, they aren't the ones doing the Googling.
They delegate the research.
Exactly. They turn to their team and say, figure this out. So McLeod says, target the layer below. The payments manager, the senior analyst.
The people who are actually building the slide deck.
The people building the comparison deck that goes to the CFO on Friday. If you're not in their research, you are never getting on that slide.
That's such a practical shift. Another great tactical playbook came from Alex Vaca. He laid out this whole organic to paid pipeline.
This is a beautiful closed-loop system. Step 1. He listened to sales calls to find the actual pain points.
Smart, using real customer language.
Step 2. He wrote organic LinkedIn posts about those problems and watched which ones got the most engagement.
So he validated the creative before spending a dime.
Exactly. Step 3. He took only the winning organic posts and turned those into paid ads for his ABM list. Then, step 4, he tracked who engaged with the ads and sent them to outbound.
Content feeds ads, ads feed outbound. It's a machine.
It is. And the audience already told you what they want to hear.
One last tactic before we move to measurement. Eric Linson shared a deep dive into Datadog's strategy. They made a pivot that sounds simple but changed everything.
They stopped optimizing for warm accounts and started optimizing for meetings.
What's the functional difference there?
A warm account is a vanity metric. It feels good. Oh, Coca-Cola is warm. But sales can't pay their mortgage with warmth.
They need meetings.
They need meetings. Datadog realized that if they focused entirely on getting the meeting, the pipeline took care of itself.
That's a perfect transition to our final theme, measurement. Because if you're optimizing for meetings, you're probably not optimizing for impressions.
And Sam Kienels is very firm on this. We need to stop celebrating impressions. An impression is not a business outcome.
So what should be on the dashboard instead?
Sam argues for 3 things, attributed specifically to ABM. Net new revenue, expansion revenue, and renewal revenue. Show me the money.
However, and this is a huge however for anyone just starting out.
Yes, the pilot phase caveat. Otso Karvinen warns us here. If you judge a brand new ABM pilot on closed revenue in the first 90 days, you will kill it.
Because enterprise deals can take a year.
Exactly. If you demand ROI in month 3, you'll just say ABM doesn't work and go back to what you were doing before.
So what do you measure early on?
Engagement depth. Are they downloading case studies? Are they visiting the pricing page? Are we adding new contacts to the CRM from those target accounts? If those leading indicators are green, the revenue will follow. You just have to hold your nerve.
So bringing this all together, it really feels like the Wild West days of ABM are over.
They are. The hack era is gone. This is the discipline era. It's about having the courage to cut your list like Marta George did.
And the discipline to ignore vanity metrics.
And the intelligence to use AI to reason, not just to write.
And realizing that the payments manager might actually be more important than the CFO. That was my biggest takeaway.
Diagnose, don't pitch. That's mine.
A great note to end on. If you enjoyed this episode, new episodes drop every 2 weeks. Also check out our other editions on field marketing, channel and partner marketing, AI and B2B, MarTech, go-to-market, and social selling.
Thanks for listening. We hope this helped you optimize your own GTM engine.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you next time.